The Narendra Modi BJP government came to power for a second time at the centre in 2019. On 1st February 2023, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will present the last full budget of their tenure. What are the budget expectations from the Union Budget 2023-24 in Goa? Are there any expectations from the salaried class? Will it be a populist budget? Listen to industry leaders.
This current budget would be the last budget before the general elections would start, and therefore, this typically is called a populist budget or of such nature. We have seen for the last year there has been a huge increase in inflation, and the common man has found that the money at his disposal is comparatively lesser because a lot of the essentials have become very costly. So I would feel that the government should increase the standard deduction for the salaried people and also increase the income tax slabs which have remained constant for quite long time. Once this is done, there will be more money left in the hands of the public, and therefore they will be able to spend. Similarly, I feel that government should encourage capital expenditure because there is a huge need for creating jobs, and it is capital expenditure like roads, bridges, ports. This is the kind of expenditure which will actually spur the employment. So both sides, in giving more money to the common person and creating employment, these are the expectations which I have from the budget. Of course, I also feel that there should not be any undue changes or tinkering in other taxes. See, if you look at the industry in Goa, we are having mining, we are having tourism, and we are having manufacturing industry, particularly pharma industry. So, as far as the mining is concerned, one of the problems that Goa is facing is that its iron ore is comparatively lesser, less than 58 districts. So we feel that the export duties and such other this thing should not be there on such kind of iron ore, and Goa should be able to export its iron ore freely. So that's the one budget expectation that we have from the budget. The second thing is that as far as the manufacturing pharma is concerned, there should be PLI schemes, that is production linked incentive schemes. We should encourage the manufacturing of the pharma. And lastly, as far as the tourism industry is concerned, I feel there should be more incentives given for this tourism industry, specifically for hotels and such other kind of activities. Of course, there is much less which can be done from the direct tax than from indirect tax.
We expect the government to be little bit people friendly, or which is middle class friendly budget, wherein there is a more money given in the public's hand, so that will help circular economy, and definitely it will help tourism. So one of the way it can be done is by reducing the income tax rate and giving more benefits to the overall public in general, which excess cash will help in their spending capacity of the individual. Not only that, it will whenever anybody has excess money, they think of tourism, and it can help overall tourism industry as a whole. Secondly, as far as the Goa is concerned, we look at there should be some allocations wherein emphasis is given on the completion of the infrastructure projects which are still pending. Like we have Zuwali Bridge, which is halfway still one half is yet to complete. Then we have Mini Convention Center, which is going on. It was supposed to complete by March, but I think there is no sign of the completion. That is opposite Pariyatan Bhavan. Besides that, the overall there are small tourism projects which are there. I think this should be completed on priority with the help of the center. As far as GST is concerned, if there can be more rationalization of the GST, it will definitely help the overall growth of the economy. So this is basically these two or three things. If government looks into it, I think it can go a long way into bringing in the mojo factor in the overall industry. In addition to that, there has to be a special spending on and the special incentive to be given on the tourism sector, which can help revive the international tourism into India. Specifically, Goa is concerned, we have a lot of these charter flights which come into Goa. So if there can be special schemes for attracting foreign tourists via charter and scheduled flights, I think it also can help overall growth story of tourism is concerned. So these are the few points which we are looking at basically which can help overall tourism industry. And if there is overall reduction in the even the fuel cost, if anything can be done on that, will help in general public also, which will give a more cash in the hand of the public, which will help circular economy. And if there is excess funds with anyone, as I said earlier, it will help tourism industry in big way. So I think if there are these few things which are taken care of, I think it will help overall the growth of economy in India.
If you see the background of this budget, there are geopolitical tensions, the supply chains have got disrupted, and the recovery from the pandemic is almost complete. Given this, and since this is going to be the last full budget, I think the focus of this budget should be on capital expenditure, on increasing our expenditure on infrastructure and focusing on growth.
Okay. And do you have any expectation from the budget for industry in Goa?
Yeah, so industry, I believe, will require 2 or 3 matters. One is a kind of easy credit. I think the emergency credit line schemes which had come during COVID have been really helpful for the industry, and something along those lines, if that can come into the budget, I think that will be something which will be appreciated by the industry. Secondly, would be an extension of the PLI schemes. There has been a lot of expectations for manufacturing, and manufacturing right now is at 15% of the GDP, and the government is trying to increase this percentage. So I think extension and widening the scope of the PLIs and also including many schemes for MSMEs also will really help. As far as taxation for the industry is concerned, I think the taxation rates for partnership and LLPs require a revamp because they are almost at a very high percentage of 30%. And for the other MSMEs which are on a kind of a personal taxation front, I think where the slabs could be raised, where the lowest slab could go to 5 lakhs and the highest slab could be increased to 20.
Prasad Polji for Herald TV.